Hey, YouTube, Ricoknows here. It was sent to my DMs. Somebody said, hey, Rico, Jack Bailey just hit the portal. Can you talk about it? And sure, I'll talk about it, but I rather talk about players when they sign at their next school, right? Because a lot of players are going to go to the portal and not find another school, and they're just going to die in the portal. That's the reality of the situation. There are hundreds of players that don't belong at the FBS level, don't belong in collegiate football, and when they go to the transfer portal, they envision they're going to get all these offers. They probably had them coming out of high school, and they think they got those same relationships still forged, and they don't. So I see a lot of these young men just flounder and die, but this is not the case here. We have a graduate transfer. Shout out to Jack Bailey. I'm reading here, it says he started all 12 games this season for the Buffaloes. Former Kent State transfer, followed Sean Lewis to Colorado. So first and foremost, no. He did not follow Sean Lewis to Colorado. Sean Lewis came to Colorado. They had the offensive line, and they didn't like what they saw, and they were sitting there thinking, what can we do? And I know this because Savion Washington reached out to me in the DMs and said, yo, Rico, I got Jack. And I said, okay, you got Jack. So who's Jack? Jack Bailey, starting right guard, right? Washington was going to be the starting right tackle. If you didn't know, these guys are coming over from Kent State. But they didn't follow Sean Lewis. They followed Bill O'Boyle, the offensive line coach. And Coach OB had a relationship with these young men that, made them want to come play for him. And so they get to Colorado. And what I'll tell you about Jack Bailey is he's about the size of a long snapper. I'm not joking. This man is 280 pounds. 280 pounds has not been acceptable as an offensive lineman for a long time now. You got to be 300. The guy across from you is going to eat your lunch. And I don't care what neck roll you wear. This man was overmatched every single snap of the ball. He didn't look good. And it got worse as the season went on. Now, I will say something. Colorado needs to figure out why it got worse as the season went on, because their offensive line played great the first 3 games of the season, and then the wheels just fell off. And a lot of that can be attributed to injuries and depth. You can say, well, they got into conference play and they started getting dominated. Well, that'll be the first time I ever heard the Pac-12 had dominant defense. I've been trying to tell you some of their players are great. But nonetheless, you're looking at a young man who, if he doesn't go to San Diego State, that should tell you how much Sean Lewis values this man, okay? So let me make that very clear right now. I don't think he's going to be going to San Diego State, but Sean Lewis is over there. Is he going to follow him there? Is there a following there? No, he's not, okay? This was about coming over to play with a teammate, get on a team where you had an old buddy who reached out to you and said, hey, man, I'm at my new school. I think you're better than some of these guys I'm lining up with. And then he gets out there and he looked utterly terrible. Now, one thing I will say is you start looking around the room and you go, man, I don't belong here. Check this out. If you're looking at Colorado and the offensive linemen they've signed since, the offseason, you start looking at some of these names and the sizes of these players. And you go, okay, you got to go. So you got Jordan Seaton here, a true freshman, 285, 6'5", 285. Let's not even try to compare the metrics and the size here. But outside of that, we go down to these linemen. Khalil Benson, 305. Tyler Johnson, 325. Justin Mayers, 320. Right? It's just, there's different levels to this. Getting back Tyler Brown, 310. So you see this really runty dude down here, and he plays smaller than he is. I'm going to make this very clear. 6'3", 280, and he plays smaller. So congratulations to Colorado. You need to free up some scholarships. You need to find some people to depart. I'd imagine there's going to be a more weeding out process after spring football. People are going to find out they're not in the too deep. Feelings are going to get hurt. That's just the reality of the situation. I want to tell you, everybody's going through this. I was looking at Georgia's roster just yesterday. They got 89. 4 guys got to leave. All right? Every school's a little heavy right now, and they're going to have to make some moves. So, yes, you will see some quality players in the transfer portal. And I'm telling you, nobody wants to pass up a quality lineman. I don't see this being a quality lineman. Jack Bailey, yesterday a school reached out to me. I'm going to tell you guys something. A group of 5 school reached out to me and said, Rico, can you make a list of players you think could play at our school in the transfer portal, specifically offensive tackles? And I said, yeah, let me see what I can do. And then we're talking about transfer portal players. So I spent about 2 hours working on this list. I have it on another spreadsheet. And as I'm going through it, I just start assessing the talent. There's not a whole lot left in the portal. Not at the FBS level. When I looked at it and I said, okay, here's my top 10, 6 of which I didn't really believe in. And that's for a group of 5 school, who's actually a pretty good group of 5 school, but it just felt like regionally, talent-wise, maybe injury concerns. One was a red flag. He quit on his team in September. I can go through and through. So there's not a lot of linemen in the portal right now. That means don't be surprised if Jack Bailey does get an offer, but after the showing he had, it can't be at the Power 5 level. I'd imagine Kent State might want him back, something like that, but I can't see it, and it's a whole new coaching staff. I get it. But unless he follows Coach OB somewhere, I don't see this young man at the FBS level. I thought he played terrible last year. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Stay up, y'all.